Hey everybody, it's vocal coach Mary Z back once again on the VoiceHacks channel with another tutorial for you. Today we are going to answer a question that I get a lot in lessons. A lot of people in lessons ask me this. Should I listen to YouTube or any social media comment feedback about my vocals? My answer mostly is no, but we're going to talk about what is the yes, the tiny caveat that might be a yes, and why that might be and how that can affect you. So let's check it out on today's tutorial. First of all, we have to understand that in the world of music, there's musicians and there is the audience. And in the world of vocals, that's an even further separation between people who understand vocal technique and people who are singers. Not everyone who's a vocalist or even a good vocalist had to take lessons. There are some people who are just naturally good at stuff, right? So not everyone out there knows what they're talking about. Most audience and music listeners are not vocal experts at all, and most of them aren't even musicians. So most of the comments you get on YouTube and the critiques are going to come from people who might have watched a few tutorials, but mostly really don't know anything about what they're talking about. And that's why we should always take them with a grain of salt. I've had some vocal clients who kind of wanted to get to a level where they could be so good that people wouldn't really leave negative comments. That if they were executing everything technically correct, they could avoid people criticizing them in that way. But there's actually no way to get to that perfection point. Even if you are the best vocalist in the world, technically, there will be people who, just as a matter of taste, don't like your voice. And that is unfortunate. So this is the other reason why we have to ignore a lot of YouTube commentary, because a lot of vocal opinion is subjective and based on art. It's not objective. It's whether someone actually likes the tone or the range or the style of your individual voice. And that's something you can never change. And that applies to harsh vocals too. Just because you learn how to false chord scream or fry scream doesn't mean you're going to sound exactly like another famous vocalist. You're going to sound like you, and you're going to do the best for you, but that doesn't mean that everyone is going to like your vocals. You'll never, ever get to a point where no one leaves you negative comments. You have to get zen about that. As musicians nowadays, we have to be out here on YouTube. We have to be in the public eye. And so you have to realize that will always mean you'll get some negative commenters. But you shouldn't allow people to go harsh on your page. If they're leaving long comments in detail that are insulting or hateful or unnecessary and not constructive, you can always block them. You don't need to allow them to do that on your page per se, okay? So delete and block some people when they go too overboard. You don't actually need to open the door to receive everyone's comments either. Even while you're still growing, there's a constructive way for people to deliver criticism to you, and that should be in a healthy way. And this is where we get into the section of what are the times when we kind of should listen to social media comments. Well, this might be if you're getting an overwhelming amount of constructive style comments that say, you may want to look at the tuning or the pitch in your song here. It sounds like you might be singing a little bit of out of tune. If you get 15 or 20 comments on a video that all say the same thing, but kind of in a constructive and not hateful way, you may want to consider that. It doesn't necessarily mean they're right. It could be because someone's just copying someone else and it's not correct at all. And then a bunch of people just copied the other comment because they didn't know what else to comment, or they didn't necessarily have an expert opinion. But the only way you're going to find out, if you're really concerned, if you start getting a lot of comments and it is kind of constructive feedback and you're kind of wondering if that really is an issue for you, is to book a consultation with a vocal coach or find someone where you're able to send a sample and get some feedback, something like that. If you're able to do that with an actual professional coach, then you'll find out from an expert, someone who actually knows for sure what they're doing, if you are out of tune, or if there's something else going on with your tone to make it sound weird, or if all these people commenting on your page are just full of crap. And that's where you need to go when you lose direction. Don't let comments on social media give you a relative perspective of good or bad. Work with your vocal coach and other musicians to kind of get that perspective, okay? There is things we always need to work on. We can always get better. So there's always room for constructive criticism. But we also have to realize there's an unfortunate amount of negative haters out there that are just really throwing out terrible comments for no reason that may in fact be untrue, and we have to have a way to distinguish between constructive improvements that will actually help us change technically and people who are just leaving negative comments. Thanks everybody. I'll see you soon. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos, and don't forget, on my main VoiceHacks channel page you can go back and watch a lot of my tutorials on how to do these techniques. I think you'll be surprised at what's there. Thanks a lot, and email me at voicehacks@gmail.com if you're looking for lessons. I'll see you all soon. Thanks. Bye.